Preparations for the study trip this year started very early.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for the time of your life? It's time to stand up and fight. It's alright, it's alright. Hand in hand we'll take a caravan to the motherland. One by one we're gonna stand up with pride, one that can't be denied. Stand up, stand up. From the highest mountain valley low, we'll join together with hearts of gold. Now the children of the world can see this is a better place for us to be. The place in which we were born, so neglected and torn apart. Every woman, every man, join the caravan of love. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Everybody take a stand. Join the caravan of love. Stand up, stand up, stand up. I'm your brother. I'm your brother, don't you know? She's my sister. She's my sister, don't you know? We'll be living in a world of peace, in the day when everyone is free. We'll bring the young and the old. Won't you let your love flow from your heart? Every woman, every man, join the caravan of love. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Everybody take a stand. Join the caravan of love. Stand up, stand up, stand up. I'm your brother. I'm your brother, don't you know? She's my sister. My sister, don't you know? Waiting for the caravan. Are you ready? He's coming. Are you ready? He's coming. Are you ready? He's coming. Are you ready? Better get ready. Don't worry. You better get ready. Don't worry. You better get ready. Don't worry. You better get ready.
It's not very good to keep coughing on the train on the way here. Sorry? What? Yeah, I snoozed about 4 times until I woke up. But no, I managed to wake up and then it was okay from there. But I was like too slow. Otherwise I would have got here half an hour earlier. Are you shooting me? I'm shy.
What are you looking for? The politics of economy. See what I mean? Hashtag Foucault, the politics of economy. Sean wanting to be part of the photography team. Oh God.
Yeah, so we just found out that Suzanne left the digitizer at the airport. And we're trying to figure out a way to find it and like that. So for now, I took this shoot with the highest camera. I mean, this is a very sad thing. I'm happy I get to do this.
just settled in, we finally arrived at Pondok Suada Indah in downtown Makassar. For the next few days, it was to become our home, away from home, and our headquarters. After checking into our rooms, Dr. Yo, henceforth Pak Yo in keeping with Indonesian custom, let in his signature game where everybody has to memorize each other's names.
Ilmal, you can call me Mel. Ilmal or Mel? Think Mel. Mel? Email. Male or female?
Not surprisingly, it was our student guides from Universitas Hasanuddin and Pak Diaz, their professor, who had the toughest time. After this nerve-wracking game, Pak Yo led us for a short walkabout around the neighborhood where he pointed out important landmarks so that we won't get lost.
It ended in a test which most of us failed. Famished, we finally headed off for dinner at Cobek Cobek restaurant. Cobek in Javanese means mortar. The sambal was out of this world. The fried local fish was exquisite. The table conversations were sparkling. Some of us discovered teh botol. Filled to the brim after dinner, we descended on a nearby shop to get local SIM cards for our phones. After nearly an hour, we returned to home base for a good night's rest to prepare for the next day.
Day 2 started out bright and early. Some early birds got up for breakfast. The rest had to wait until we got to our first session in Chinatown. After a 15-minute walk under the bright morning sun led by Pak Yo, we reached Warkop Hai Hong. Warkop stands for Warung Kopi or coffee shop. For Malaysian student travelers, Warkop Hai Hong reminded them of the kopitiam back home. There, Miss Yuli Tanyaji, an Indonesian of Chinese descent, was there to greet us.
Culture of Makassar is the coffee shop. We call it warung kopi, so you can ask your Unhas friends. Warung kopi, and maybe in Malaysia you call it kopitiam. But warung kopi is very important here because it's not only started since 18th centuries, it is also part of the daily life of people here. I mean, they don't know, they only know how to serve tea, right? But they know how to make coffee. And even the half-boiled egg is not even part of the Chinese culture. And it's if you ask why in KL is also like that, or in Penang is also like that, or even in Singapore, it's because it's a port city. Everywhere in historical port cities, you will find this type of kopitiam, this type of warung kopi. And if you ask them, most of them come from Hainam family. I wonder why. But most of them. And they always choose the corner. It's always the corner house. If you see it's not on the corner house, it's mostly possible it's a new one.
After a delicious and comforting breakfast, Yuli and Pak Diaz took us for a 3-hour walkabout in Chinatown and downtown Makassar.
the Dutch colony choose one Chinese leader to control the Chinese citizens. That's their way to control, to limit their movement. They call it kapitan, yeah. They call it kapitan. You also have it, right? Yeah, it's actually administrative, just an administrative tasks. But they become really important. They own properties, several houses. This is one of it. And this is only one of it. They have lots of huge lands. But then after the Indonesia freedom, they have to give it back to the country. There are several mosques. As I explained, that we have several quarters. On the north part of Benteng, on the north part of Benteng started with the Chinese quarter, the Arab quarter, and then the Malay quarter. And then you will see some of those mosques. It shows that we are already on the sort of like the border of the quarter.
We've been walking inside the Chinese district.
Yeah.
And one of the most interesting thing is that if you look at the archive 18th, 19th century, if people referring to the Peranakan, and the archive says Peranakan.
What is Peranakan?
Which means mixture of Chinese, usually father and local families or local inhabitants. Most of them were Muslims. So many of the Chinese Peranakan, the Chinese descent families were Muslim.
Yeah.
So,
Or having no religion.
Yeah. So sometime nowadays people are surprised that in the Chinatown you can find mosques. But actually if you look at the history, many of the Chinese descent families were Muslims.
Pasar Bacan is the only place in Makassar where pork is sold.
You still can see the whole pork. They start to skin it and then cut it, chop it, this kind of thing. I always prefer to bring people at 6 here so you can see how they set it up. It's mango season right now.
We visited a few Chinese temples. The most impressive one was this one. Here, a Chinese statue of Mazu, the goddess of the sea, stood facing the Makassar Straits, offering a beacon of refuge for seafarers.
The logo of the place. Super sweet. Super sweet. Yeah, but it's really good.
Not far from Chinatown is the historic Fort Rotterdam, where numerous battles were fought for the control of the important seaport of Makassar.
But this is where the one of the series of fort that was constructed by the Makassaris kingdom to defend itself. But again, after the war, 1669, it was turned and given to the Dutch. And it became the main settlement for the company, the Dutch company, the Dutch East Indies Company. But in this room, I think there is more historical significance. It's because in 19th century, in 1833, a prince from Java was in prison in here with his family for 22 years in this very room, actually, him and with his family. So he led a rebellion in Java in 1825, and then banned to Manado after he was captured, banned to Manado in North Sumatra, Sulawesi, 1830, and then transferred here 1833. And he spent the rest of his life in this very place.
From Fort Rotterdam, we adjourned for lunch at Miss Yuli's family restaurant back in Chinatown at Toko Q Mama or Mama's Cake Shop. We feasted on traditional Indonesian pastries and desserts. Miss Yuli also introduced us to her friend John. John is a fifth-generation coffee roaster who promotes an appreciation of local specialty coffee. Some of us stayed back after lunch to learn a thing or two about coffee grinding, while the rest returned to the home base to freshen up for the next session.
Gerbang is arch, right?
Finally back home. It is a mango tree, I told you. Really?
Session 2 commenced late in the afternoon in one of the student travelers' room transformed into a makeshift lecture hall. Paktias shared on various aspects of Makassar history, society, and culture, followed by a lively question and answer session.
Job opportunities, working opportunities in Sulawesi, in Makassar in particular, is very limited in general, right? Especially the higher paid, the lower, middle, lower, I think it's wider. And this is my sense, is that if you're a boy, if you're a man, then your job opportunity would be much smaller than the woman. Because nowadays, if you look around, supermarkets, factories, shops, all this lower, middle, lower jobs, they're looking for female workers. Especially in cities like Makassar, because of the living space and on all that, and also these traditions. As a boy, I don't know whether you can ask that. As a boy, you're not supposed to be playing inside the house. So like, out. You just come into the house for two purposes: to eat and to sleep. And the rest you just play on the street because there's no enough space to play outside the house within the house compound. So you just running around. So public space is to be expected to be the playground for the boys and later men. Women are considered to be supposed to be inside. So again, that's something that the coffee houses that we saw is really one of those more privileged space for those who can pay to spend their time.
After the session, Paktias guided us to the esplanade situated a short walking distance away from Pondok Swada Indah.
Okay, this is supposed to represent different linguistic groups. So there is this Makassar Fier. The things that is really well known about Toraja is this death ritual, in which many buffaloes is being sacrificed. For those who doesn't like to see gore, you should avoid the scene. Buffalo would be this type, with the albino. Well, you would see it if you walk around in Toraja later on. This being taken care of specially, they put in the water so they get cool, and this thing here could cost hundreds of million rupiahs per animal, per head.
Somewhat intrigued with what Paktia shared, we snapped photos with the statue of the prized albino buffalo as decor. Little did we know then what lied ahead for us in Toraja.
We're actually going to the university right now, our host university, Sultan Hasanuddin University. We just had our breakfast, so now we're just waiting for everyone to load up in the PT and then we're gonna head over.
Something nice like, oh, I really love your food or something.
I really love the history.
Just reached the Sultan Hasanuddin University. The campus, as you can see around us, looks very green. It's super huge. There's a lot of motorbikes around, so you can tell the main transportation system that the students use to actually come here.
After a brief rundown on the history of the university by Iksan and Ichang, we were led to the Faculty of Social and Political Science courtyard. Here, we met up with two student leaders, Fahmi and Rial.
Okay, so students' movement, especially in Indonesia, and especially in the eastern part of Indonesia, in Makassar.
UNAS sendiri punya sejarah pergerakan mahasiswa yang cukup bisa dibilang ya berarti ataupun bermakna dalam sejarah pergerakan Indonesia sendiri.
So UNHAS has a long-standing historical students' movement in Indonesia. So sometimes government has a certain policy, and in order for that policy to gain support from the society, so sometimes students, especially for the activists, they go to the streets in order to gain attention from society, so that they can be able to influence the decision making in the government. So it's like they do demonstration, they mobilize support from society in order to gain an attention, so that these issues can be heard by the society. So they gain support from society in order to oppose policy made up by government.
We then took a quick tour of the campus. We made a courtesy visit to the Dean of the Faculty of Letters and Philosophy.
Hi, Professor Burhanuddin. We are from Monash University, Malaysia, and and most of us majored in international studies and communication, some writing, psychology, and journalism as well. So we are here to explore the beautiful history of and city of Makassar and also Toraja.
From English department, and also we are now in the process of establishing Mandarin and Korean studies. Actually, there are 3 will come in soon. Also Persian studies from Middle East country. Our faculty was established in, precisely, if I'm not mistaken, on the 11th of December 1960. So we are going to have our anniversary for 54 years this December, next month.
Next, we paid a visit to the Communication Broadcast Center.
Thank you for having us here. We're all from Monash, Malaysia, Monash University, Malaysia, and we're here for 14 days to do on a study trip. And we're here to learn about Makassar and also Toraja. So we'll be here around and learning about your campus today.
Welcome to my radio laboratorium. Yeah, my name is Riza Dharma Putra. I'm lecturer in Communication Department, Hasanuddin University, and this room is about the studio, radio studio. The content, first news. Yeah, we have a news. Happy morning. Happy morning. This is Sela.
The content of Happy Morning is news and info traffic in the morning. Around 2 hours, we sharing to listeners about what happening in Makassar.
Anis, Jasmine, and Jonathan were invited into the broadcast room to become radio celebrities for the day.
Hi, my name is Anis.
And my name is Jonathan.
We are from Monash University, Malaysia.
And you're listening to RadioCBC.net.
Radio Komunitas Inspirasi Anda.
I feel really honored to be here today. I'm glad that everyone noticed my own contribution to this university. And I hope to continue making an impact. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. It really means a lot. I'm going to tear. I can't do this.
After a quick lunch at the university cafeteria, we whizzed off to our next destination.
We are going to Kampung Baru. Kampung Buku, I'm sorry.
What is it?
What's his name? What's the name of his place?
To wake us up from after lunch drowsiness, Eileen energized us with some exercises.
It's like water raindrops are harder.
Okay, twist and waist. I still don't know what to do already. Oh, everybody can see already.
So this place is called Inawa Publisher. Inawa Publisher, so where we are now.
Saya Jimpe, Anwar Jimpe Rahman, saya Direktur Penerbit Ininawa. Ininawa sebenarnya adalah penerbit yang berkonsentrasi ke teks Sulawesi Selatan. dan Sulawesi Barat, atau lebih luas Indonesia Timur.
Kampung Buku has an impressive collection of 7,000 books, including foreign scholarly work translated into the Indonesian language. Because of its specialized collection on South Sulawesi, many local university students and even foreign researchers visit Kampung Buku to consult its resources. Pak Jimpe shared that Kampung Buku also serves as a community meeting space where various issues are discussed and people learn various skills like writing and research. Art exhibitions and community events such as yarn bombing have been organized.
Okay, so today's trip session here was really interesting. I learned that the Indonesian, like every manuscript has to be approved by the government here, and this is very different from the case in India, especially because textbooks and any manuscripts that are published are all private publications that come out, and basically they present objective scenarios of exactly what happened during independence. Even if it's not objective, it doesn't have to be approved by any government source of any kind, and they basically are as neutral as possible. But then seeing the way that the publications here are, he said that political parties have to approve of what has happened, and publications that are, but the beauty about new media is actually that if anything is banned in this part of the world, can be easily available on internet now.
Let it go, let it go, Terima, nanti jadi more. Let it go, let it go.
While waiting for our pete-pete to arrive, we held a quick meeting to talk about the cultural night.
The more convenient way is that you're assigned, or you ask the person to be the lyricist and to do the music, and then
Immediately after arriving back at home base, Dian was off to chase a soft story.
We went to push our report on phone cards because I was there the other day, and I managed to speak to the man who is the father of the guy who sold us our SIM cards, and he's Makassarian Chinese, and he owns the antique shop basically.
Saya tinggal di sini sudah dari orang tua. Ya, dari orang tua sama kakek. Dari sudah 100 tahun lebih. 100 tahun lebih.
100 tahun?
Ada, yes, lebih.
Shop kedai ni?
Rumah ini.
Oh, rumah ini?
Rumah ini. 100 tahun lebih. Ibu saya masih hidup. My mother masih hidup. Now 102 years. 102, ya, Jakarta. Saya 9 bersaudara. 9 bersaudara. Tidak pernah makan gaji, tidak pernah bekerja. Tidak pernah kerja. Aventuring. Waktu muda. Saya Jakarta 9 tahun. Semua pelosok-pelosok saya pergi. Manado, Sulawesi Utara, Palu, Sulawesi Tengah, Bandung, Jawa Barat.
We learned that the person who sold us SIM cards on our first day in Makassar, Ivan, is also a champion koi fish hobbyist.
kontes koi.
Mau GTC.
Setiap tahun.
Before the evening session began, Emily, Jawe, and a few others tried out bakso at a nearby roadside warung. After dinner, once again, Jonathan's and Jawe's room was quickly transformed into a mini lecture room for a session on the work of the human rights group, Contrast Sulawesi. The session began with all of us sharing what human rights personally meant to us.
Human rights to me is about respect for one another, I guess in human said regardless of gender, race, sexuality.
Me, human rights is the same things as all you think about human rights.
However, human rights is also about talking about the limitations of by respecting by another human rights, also people other rights, and also talking about the states, how the duty of the states to fulfill and respect and protect the human rights. So there's a human rights with a limitation, and there's a rights with a full respect from the state. 1998 in Poso, there was a conflict, and the conflict has relations with the establishment of Kontra Sulawesi, where there were a lot of so many human rights defenders at the time discussing about how to improve the human rights situation in Sulawesi at the times. So the idea comes up, and they establish Kontra Sulawesi.
Jadi Kontra Sulawesi ini wilayah kerjanya adalah region Sulawesi, Sulawesi Tengah, Sulawesi Utara, Sulawesi Selatan, Gorontalo dengan Sulawesi Barat. Nah, karena Kontra Sulawesi ini adalah keanggotaannya sifatnya adalah perkumpulan, keanggotaannya itu adalah individu.
A lively discussion on some of the human rights issues affecting the home countries of some of the student travelers ensued before we ended the session. But it wasn't certainly the end of the night yet. Student travelers on duty were busy writing up and editing stories, photographs and videos, and Arina displayed her skills as the in-house masseur. Another full day of learning.
Unlike the first 3 days, we finally got to sleep late on day 4. At 11 a.m., we gathered for an hour of dance rehearsals.
Right cross tap.
Come on, man, put more life in your clapping. Put some masculine power in it.
We have to be graceful, right? Or hot and sweaty by then, we boarded our pete-petes to make our way to another part of town for a community visit facilitated by ACROM. ACROM stands for Arsitek Komunitas Makassar, or Community Architects of Makassar in English. Nearing our destination, we had to stop briefly as the pete-pete driver were lost and waited for directions to come through. Even then, learning never stops for some.
So we're learning Makassar right now. Our student guides are teaching Susan how to write.
Finally, we arrived at Kampung Pisang, a Buddhist migrant community of about 49 households. The village was started in 2006.
How many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the
The first part of our ACROM sessions was held in this traditional house.
must a man look up before he can see the sky? How many years must one man have before?
We have come here to study Makassar Toraja as a region and get to know what practices are documented here and everything. So we come from a diverse faculty. We have communications, journalism, we have writing and psychology. she's going to tell us about this kampung. So we are here right now in Kampung Pisang, okay, and basically they have faced an eviction problem because they didn't have their land rights to claim, and because of that their organization helps in providing them loan assistance, loan advice, etc.
Already stay in this area since around 2000, year 2000. They were urban from another region around Makassar, outside Makassar. So they came here. So they came here to search for job, and they work here as informal workers, like pedicab driver or building labor or sellers and etc. We get in touch first time with the people of Kampung Pisang since 2010, I think. When we were still in college, it was like a three-year college, and we came here and we started our volunteerism. It was because the kampung were about to evict it because the land status is not clear. It was owned by several people, which the people around here don't know that if the owner has already selling it to another, let's say it's like developer or something like that. So this kampung, most of the area of this kampung will be developed as modern housing. Because it's near the development center of central business, future central business of Makassar, in Tanjung Bunga. It's nearby, so this area will face the development as well, and they provide housing for middle class to upper class settlers. And because they're going to evict it in 2010, we tried to offer a concept of land sharing, because originally they have a land of 3.4 hectares and occupied around 32 houses, and we offer land sharing through the mayor of Makassar. Will be connecting them to the owner of the land, and we will ask for the owner of the land to give like around 0.0 hectares of the total 3.4 hectares of land. By that time, in around 2011, we held a planning workshop. So we have the community involving in the workshop and deciding where will be their houses. So we have them participated in the planning workshop and planning their land, their lots.
The chicken spoke to Anis just now, and chicken was like, "Hey Anis, come catch me." So now we are going for it.
This is a bad idea.
That was supposed to be my seat, Dr. Yo.
After Islands and Anis's misadventure, we were off to Arcom's office, situated in another part of town. Along the way, we encountered a traffic jam. Student demonstrators were facing off police personnel in front of the premises of the governor of Makassar. the student demonstrators were voicing their dissatisfaction with the hike in fuel prices as it would affect negatively the life of many, especially the economically disadvantaged in society. Arkom is based in a residential neighborhood.
Where have all the young girls gone? Gone to young men, everyone. When will they ever learn?
We had a short breather before an icebreaker came.
25,000.
25,000. Okay, you know what? Just follow me. Okay. It's too much. Okay, ready? Okay. Now, I want you to spread your legs. Look down. Okay, I want the hand from the left side out. And the hand from the right side out. Okay, I want you to start your hands walk. Okay, now sway your body to the left, to the right, to the left, to the
Ika and her colleagues then shared about the origins, vision, and work of Arkom.
It said Arkom is formed in 2010, but actually we've learned through the network of community architects throughout Indonesia. That time in 2010, people from Yogyakarta, if you're familiar with the name of the city in Java, one city in Java, they have a kind of community architect too, and they call Arkom Jogja, Arkom in Yogyakarta. So they came here in Makassar to help the people of Kampung Pisang, and that was the first time where we know Arkom, and we learned how to implement our architectural education back at school in real case scenario in Kampung. So I don't know how we collect ourselves. I think it's just because some of us are already familiar with volunteering, and we just most of us are in batch 2007 in architecture Unhas, so we just someone just call us and then we go to one place, and we first time we encountered with Arkom and how they work with the community, we were kind of inspired.
After a lively discussion, dinner was served before we headed home.
Restaurant Sederhana. Mediocre restaurant. Although I hope that's not what they mean. I'm hoping it's just a cultural difference.
What are the other songs that you have to sing currently? Unbreak My Heart by Tony Braxton. Wonderwall.
Day 5 was a comparatively relaxed day in terms of formal sessions. We had only one. 3 leaders of Komunitas Sehati Makassar, or KSM, met up with some of us for breakfast at the nearby KFC. In English, KSM means the Community of One Heart, and is an NGO safeguarding the human rights of LGBTs in Makassar.
Kelompok LGBT. LGBT itu istilah pergerakan untuk kelompok homoseksual, lesbian, gay, biseksual, dan transgender. Di Makassar sendiri, khususnya di Bugis Makassar, itu dikenal dengan 5 gender. Laki-laki, perempuan, calabai, calalai, dan bisu.
KSM began as an online community around 2000. Later, it was decided that it was necessary to be more involved in advocacy of their rights rather than remain passively hidden. Based on KSM's survey, it was discovered that about 89% of LGBTs in Makassar had been abused one way or the other. This is largely due to religious homophobic interpretations of non-normative sexuality.
Di informasi dokumentasi ini lebih mengacu kepada mendokumentasikan kasus-kasus yang ada sebagai alat untuk mengadvokasi kebijakan. Selama ini ketika kita mengadvokasi kebijakan, kita tidak pernah dilibatkan oleh pemerintah karena pemerintah selalu menganggap bahwa tidak ada data. Jadi kita mulai beberapa 1 tahun terakhir ini kita lebih mengadvokasi data-data kasus. Dan salah satu bentuk dokumentasi kemarin itu kita ada kerjasama dengan 3 kota, Jakarta, Makassar, dan Jakarta. Kita ada penelitian menguat stigma dan diskriminasi kekerasan terhadap LGBT di 3 kota.
Besides linkages to the National Human Rights Commission, KSM is also associated with a number of internationally based human and sexuality rights groups. As in earlier sessions, student travelers were engaged in a lively sharing and discussion after KSM's input. Later in the evening, a small group ventured into a nearby shopping mall to chill.
Malam yang gelap dan dingin yang kau damba-dambakan, dengan apa akan engkau habiskan bersama mimpi yang kau rekayasa atau doa-doa yang kau pinta dalam takut. Di tembok yang tinggi dan berlumut itulah segala.
I think it would be safe to say that we were noticed by the locals.
Kita menguap seperti kabut, kita hanya sebentar, sejenak adalah usia kita. Datang dan menguap begitu saja, hanya aromanya yang tertanam di kepala. Seberapa banyak kau hirup malam ini, kasih.
Suara hujan merdu di garasi yang basah, petikan sitar lincah dalam rentak tabla. Kau sungguh kontras malam ini, mengalun di sela rintik.
Day 6 was a so-called free day for the student travelers after 5 days of non-stop activities. Finally, yes! Oh. Student travelers split into 2 groups. One group stayed back to take part in an energetic Bollywood dance practice led by Jaina, followed by souvenir hunting in the shops near to the Esplanade. Another group retraced their steps back to Pasar Bacan to pursue soft stories.
Saya ambil per hari 50 rang. 50 rang semua. 4 macam itu 50 rang.
What time do you start operating from morning?
Well, we open at 6:30. 6:30 in the morning. Until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But we keep still open until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But usually at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, all the cakes already sold out.
By around 2 p.m., everybody reconvened back at Pondok Suada Indah to make the trip to the neighboring Samalona Island. Finally, some time to soak in the sun and sea.
Mimpi adalah kunci untuk kita menaklukkan dunia. Berlarilah tanpa lelah sampai engkau meraihnya. Laskar pelangi takkan terikat waktu. Bebaskan mimpimu di angkasa, warnai bintang di jiwa. Menarilah dan terus tertawa, walau dunia tak seindah surga. Bersyukurlah pada yang kuasa, cinta kita di dunia selamanya. Cinta kepada hidup, memberikan senyuman abadi. Walau hidup kadang tak adil, tapi cinta lengkapi kita. Laskar pelangi.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the world. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the red garden, sprung in completeness where his feet had.
Alright, where are we going next? Yeah! Where's our next destination? So this is for my 10 hours ride to Toraja. I hope it will sustain me and not make me pee halfway because I don't want to use the public toilet. Okay, this is it. We got 25 tired travelers on the 10 hours bus ride to Toraja.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway. Looking for adventure. And whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace. Fire all of the guns at once and explode into space. I like smoking lightning. Every bit of thunder, racing with the wind, and the feeling that
We are at our first pit stop and look at all these small bladder people.
yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace. Fire all of your guns at once and explode into space. Like a true nature's child, we were born to be wild. We can climb so high.
Hi, we are now at some place, I don't know where is this, but it's 3 hours into our journey and we are having lunch here. Cause Pete Pete is apparently too far away and most of us will be starving by then. I'm sorry, it's far away. But this is our lunch. And I don't know, according to Dr. Yo, we have to eat using our hands. So, okay, I'll try. But look at the view, it's so pretty. Squeeze it. Can you stop stalking me already? It was okay, I was just eating rice, nothing else. Idol. I think she's doing really good. Totally. So we are at our 6 hours journey into the land of Makassar, and so far into Toraja. And so far 80% of the bus are all knocked out. Okay, anyway, Dr. Yo is one of the surviving ones. So, Dr. Yo, can you please tell us why you're still awake? Are you just gonna ignore me, Dr. Yo? Yeah. Dr. Yo, why are you still awake? It's okay, we can talk to Helen, because Dr. Yo is too lazy. We are now at a pit stop in the middle of mountains, winding roads, so we took a stop here for coffee and to pee. Well, technically, the video team attached this to me and I had to pee with this. You know how hard I was trying to not pee on this thing? Can you see the mountain? It's like so beautiful. And it's pretty chilly, which is something different from Makassar, which I can really appreciate it because it was humid and hot in Makassar.
We are 70 kilometers away from Toraja, and this gunung right here is called Gunung Nona. And also based on what I've read, the highest point in this regency is, in the Toraja regency, is 3,093 meters. So we can expect very chilly conditions and very scenic views.
With the sound of music.
My hills fill my heart with the sound of music. My heart wants to sing every song it hears. My hills are alive with the sound of music. With songs they have sung for 1,000 years.
Guys, this is a safety announcement. I would appreciate it if you guys pay attention to the front. It's about your life and death. And you know Dr. Yo won't bring your body back.
In case of emergency.
In case of emergency,
Please note the 2 exits.
please note that the 2 exit is right here and here is on your right, left.
In case the bus decides to turn over.
And in case the bus decides to turn over, there is
And start praying.
no safety belt. So you need to just hold on to your seat and pray to whatever God you can
Do
think
not
of.
attempt to save your bags.
Do not attempt to save your bags.
Or each other.
Or each other.
Just try to save yourself.
Just try to save yourself.
And Dr. Yo.
And me. School of Arts welcome you to Toraja after 8 hours of ride. Yes, guys. Alright, so after 10 hours, actually near to 10 hours of bus ride, we are finally here and finally eating our dinner. We were starting in the bus and so now we're at Gazebo having our dinner and it's a pretty restaurant. You can look. It was tiring, okay, 10 hours journey. And yes, we are officially in Toraja.
As the sun rose over Rantapau, we got a better view of Wisma Menonton, the 3-story guest house that was to be our home and HQ for the next 4 days. We practically had the whole place to ourselves since we occupied almost the entire premises. Wisma Menonton is situated a short walk to the town center. The top floor where the dining area is situated has a good view of the neighborhood and the majestic mountain range that encircled Rantapau. The most interesting feature of Wisma Menonton is that the bedrooms do not have bathroom doors. Clearly, some radical adjustments were required of the urbane student travelers. By the time all of us got back from breakfast, Pa Aru, our tour guide for the next 3 days, was there waiting for us.
There's about 20 of us and we come from different countries like Malaysia, Mauritius, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Singapore, Switzerland, and India, yeah, okay. And we're here to learn about Makassar and Toraja.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's windy, breezy, yeah? Yeah, it is a halal restaurant. Don't worry, yeah? I guarantee that restaurant here for tourists, all of them, they are halal. Yeah? You know, actually, even the Torajan separated into administration, but we are always called Toraja. Toraja people. because we have one culture, one tradition.
Our first destination was Lemo, situated about 7 miles from Rantepao.
The grave in Toraja is called Banua Merambu. Yeah, in Toraja is called Banua Merambu. It means Banua Tang Merambu. It means the house without kitchen. Yeah, or the house without smoke. This part of the stone grave here belong to Songgi Patalo descendants came from the upper class. Why? Because the stone grave here, all of the stone grave here, they have effigies. They are called Tau Tau. Tau, it means man. Tau Tau represent to the man, especially the dead man.
Tautaus are believed to be imbued with spiritual power, so they stand facing the villages and rice fields with outstretched hands to protect and bless them. Pak Aru took us to another gravesite occupied by the lower class a short distance away. Here, the bones of the dead are placed inside the chambers rather than coffins as for the upper class. While tautaus are usually reserved for the upper class, elderly people of the lower class who have gained a good reputation while they were alive are allowed to have their effigies made.
Next stop was Kambira.
In accordance with the old tradition system in Toraja, if the baby died without teeth, the baby was considered as a holy baby or pure baby.
The dead babies are entombed in a living tree called Pokok Tara, a kind of jackfruit. This tree is now considered the baby's new mother, and their biological mothers are not involved in the burial process, only their fathers. Their fathers carve out a niche in the tree for their babies and construct the doors that cover their graves. Next, we lunched at Panorama Restaurant situated beside scenic rice fields. Since there were so many of us, lunch took quite a while to be prepared. We kept ourselves busy with photo shoots, quizzes, and games. Like Limo, the village of Kete Kasu is one of the 10 listed UNESCO World Heritage Sites. It is a complete settlement in terms of a compound of houses, granaries, burial places, ceremonial grounds, rice fields, and water buffalo pastures.
Kete Kasu is my village, yeah? Kete Kasu, it means activities center. It's like ceremonial center, social activities center, yeah, an ancient government center in olden time, and wood carving center. Yeah, it means Kete Kasu.
We had a close look at the boat-shaped ancestral clan houses called Tongkonan, which means sit together. Exhibited prominently on the front of these houses are buffalo horns, the Torajan measure of status and family wealth. Tongkonans are oriented to the north, a symbol of life, whilst the granaries are to the south. Pa Aru then led us to the Kete Kasu burial place situated nearby. The burial place comprises a mixture of modern house graves, hanging coffins, and coffins placed inside caves. Because of the elements, some of the old hanging coffins had fallen from their perches, exposing their contents. Student travelers were warned not to touch the skulls or skeletons, as this is taboo and this would incur heavy fines and a jail sentence to the guilty party. Back at Wisma Menonton, Pa Aru informed us that we would have the opportunity to witness a funeral ceremony the next 2 days. Little did we know what lied ahead.
Day 9 started in a deceptively routine manner. Chef Johnton, assisted by Falak and volunteers, got up early to prepare a simple but delicious breakfast.
The famous Indomie. It's a local delicacy that has spread far and wide, and even we in Malaysia consume this sinfully.
After the simple breakfast, student travelers prepared themselves to go to the village of Tikala to witness a Torajan funeral ceremony. As advised by Pak Aru, we were dressed in black. At the village, we were taken to a shelter for guests called a lantang. We were served sweet tea, coffee, and snacks.
He died 2.5 years ago. His name is Barung Rasang. Barung Rasang.
Barung Rasang had died at the ripe old age of 80 years old. Pak Aru briefed us on the protocol of the Torajan funeral ceremony, which had started the day before. Guests processed into the funeral ceremonial grounds led by attendants dressed in traditional Torajan costumes. They are accompanied by a stream of men guiding in water buffaloes or carrying pigs. These animals are presented as gifts in honor of the deceased.
Nenek Elisa, Kalambe, Umpatu Nenek Tiara, Sangkedera Santiang Karana, Papa Erwin, Santiang Karana Papa Ipon Deri, Umpatu Papa Wilson, Sangkedera Santiang Karana Papa Tito, Tikala, Umpatu Papa Santiang Karana Papa Lita Sorong Papua, Umpatu Papa Balen, Sangkedera Santiang Karana Eman, Soal Papa Lipa, Warin, Umpatu Nenek Tiara, Sangkedera Santiang Karana Papa Diki. Datane kutanatam tato minda tetium bare tium bama basiride
The guests are led into the main reception area called Lantang Karampuan, which faces the elevated structure bearing the deceased.
Lomba langit ilang Tongkonan pasang spesial. Pokok leko nama nang lako paminakan dolok di umay lelenduran sumu di talimbuna di padang di Sorong Papua.
Men and women are seated separately to facilitate the distribution of cigarettes for men and siri for women as gifts. There, they are also served light refreshments. After a short while, they vacate their seats for new arrivals. Throughout the day, the masters of ceremonies, in this case Pak Julius Talak, provides a continuous flow of announcements, oratory and dirges projected over a booming loudspeaker.
Minda bainte, baina rover, inde kalambe. Minda bainte.
From time to time, ceremonial elders move around the arena to announce the identity of the person or groups offering the animal.
Baina Bapa Glory inde kalambe, umpatu nene tiara. Baina Bapa Glory inde kalambe.
After this, there is a flurry of activity as some of the pigs are brought outside the arena to be slaughtered and butchered. Some of the meat will be used for cooking meals and the rest for redistribution to guests, elders and members of the village. For student travelers witnessing first-hand the killing of large animals, the experience was quite unsettling and disturbing to say the least.
Lepas kimi dulu ah.
Solah panditana, solah toma paretana, si solah teminana, apa budana.
Tapi tarikmu kamu.
Apa alde? Rabangan solah toma berikan dapi, si solah panditana, solah toma paretana.
Tarote.
Si solah toma.
After a leisurely lunch back in Rantepao, Pak Aru brought us to Pasar Bolu, a livestock market where many of the offerings of pigs and buffaloes we saw earlier were obtained.
So it is the biggest market in Toraja, even in South Sulawesi. It's the biggest livestock market in South Sulawesi, yeah? So some of the buffalo inside, they come from different islands around Indonesia. From Kalimantan, from Sumatra, from Flores, Nusa Tenggara, Lombok. Yeah. So the small buffaloes there, the cost approximately from 15 million until 30 million, 40 million. If you see black and white buffalo with blue eyes, they are much more expensive, like 100 millions up. Yeah? 500, 600, even 1 billion for the best one.
She thinks what? It's a rabbit, is it?
Now more well versed with the model economy of pigs and buffaloes in Toraja, we return to Wisma Menonton to brood over issues of life and death.
Day 10 was a mixed day, divided into two opposing halves. Once again, after breakfast, we headed back to Tikala.
It's not Cheryl, be careful with your arm. It's my camera. My camera!
Compared to yesterday, the crowd was smaller, confined mainly to relatives of the deceased and some tourists.
Butchers will skin the buffalo. After skinning the buffalo, the butchers will cut the meat
Pak Aru gave us a rundown of what to expect next. But nothing he said could have prepared us for what we witnessed in the next hour. Once the elders and the family of the deceased have decided on how the buffalo meat is to be distributed, the ceremony began.
Na tangalaki anggai siya tangalaki tungkanan numpasusiri pako namitiro kalenam.
I reject your idea of using
Buffalo after buffalo was efficiently slaughtered in this manner.
We lost count how many, but we remembered that it had to do with the social status of the deceased. Once the last buffalo was felled, groups of men quickly descended upon the carcasses to start skinning and butchering up the meat for distribution. We didn't stay to witness the process until the end, as Pak Aru whisked us away for a hike in Batutu Mongga.
Should I brought my raincoat as well? 6 raincoat.
you gave me this one.
Damage done.
You should do the whole
Who goes hiking in this weather?
Can't
Can't we shelve our plans?
Sick,
Let's just go back.
After a quick meal of instant noodles overlooking scenic rice fields, we were off.
Hi Arina.
Where are we going?
We're going mountain trekking now. I'm really looking forward to it because I haven't had exercise in a week.
It started well. Soon, it began to alternate between drizzle and heavy rain. Some of us were better prepared than others.
Dating.
So cute.
Romantis.
What is romantis?
Romantis.
Oh, it's sitting, it's sitting.
A couple of the student travelers lost their expensive slippers in the deep mud.
Squat. Squat. Squat so your center of gravity is lower.
You okay, Nurul? Are you okay, Nurul?
Yeah.
Look at the camera. You can roll.
Okay.
Okay.
About 3 hours later, we reached our destination. Although all muddied and drenched, we felt exhilarated from the hike. What a day of contrast.
Day 11 was a free day for everyone. It was also Suzanne's vlog day.
Hello, this is Suzanne, and we're on our way to my first soft story with Michelle in the church. Apparently, they are doing some dancing and singing, so we're going to see what's up. We are right now in front of the church. We are actually trying to get in. Hopefully, they'll let us in for an interview to know more about the church and how it plays a role in the Torajan culture these few days. We are here stuck under the rain because it starts to pour so heavily. We are on our way to the second church now because the first church is having practice and they don't want anyone disturbing them. So, okay, here we go.
Michelle, okay.
Huh?
Take your head out.
Hi, deja vu like yesterday again where we hiked.
Well, so I barefoot.
This is for her. She cannot poop.
I need
have
fiber.
to feed her.
Okay, thank you.
I hope she poops.
Cacao.
Cacao.
Mango.
Wow, the whole plate doesn't know that cacao avocado grows on a tree. Now you know, right? We just learned from the bus.
So we're now waiting until prayer is over and then we'll go on with our interview.
A church service was still ongoing when we entered into the premises. It was to commemorate the 48th anniversary of the Torajan Women's Church Association, a women's wing of the Jemaat Ilim Rantapoa Church. Christianity was introduced to the Torajans in the beginning of the 20th century by missionaries of the Dutch Reformed Church. Today, it is estimated that about 80% of Torajans are Christians.
It's good this time, it's not too sweet, so it's really good.
After the service, we were taken to the church office by Pastor Naomi Paimbona for a short interview.
We are now at the bookstore. Michelle and I are thinking of getting a Torajan language Bible, but apparently it's sold out. Hello, I just got back from my soft story interview. It was really good, but it's really cheap. Right now, I'm going to go around and look for the other travelers and ask how was their day today. At the same time, we're going to have a little tour of this place since we have never had that. Let's go! This is the common area. This is also known as our HQ where everyone comes here to do work. You'll see a lot more people tonight at probably 9 p.m. Yeah. And this is our table where we put snacks and food for everybody. And here's the kitchen where Eileen, Jonathan and Falak and sometimes Arina cooks our beautiful breakfast. Maybe tomorrow you get to see them. Yeah, this is the kitchen. Ta-da!
So we didn't go to the plantation today because we found out that it's not harvest season right now. So instead we went to the office of Toraja Coffee, which stands for Toraja Arabica Coffee. It's technically a Japanese company, but they have their plantation in Toraja itself. So we couldn't stay very long over there because Helen and I weren't well. I think it's something from yesterday, but anyway, we managed to speak to a few very important people who they manage the company itself. So this is their coffee. It's technically a single origin coffee, right? 250 grams, and it costs 37,500 rupiah per bag, which is roughly around 10 ringgit, which is the price of 1 cup of coffee we pay at home. So cheap, right? But it's so good.
Are you sleeping? No. Okay. We just want to ask you a few questions. It's vlog day.
I went to pasar with Anis, Anja, and Isan. and we walked around. And Anis found a soft story. He's a Malaysian guy. No, not Malaysian. He's an Indonesian guy who like opened shop here, but his parents are like from Johor or something like that. And then it rained, so we took a beach up. The end.
You are level 2. We spot the end. Yeah. You were doing an interview with us for the vlog.
Oh my god, okay. First you should probably turn off this light if you want to
I can't see your face.
Oh. I wanted to go out to shop with everyone else, but then I had to come back because I had a stomachache. And then I just got up like 30 minutes ago. I slept for 4 hours, that was great. So today was the day of sleep and rest. I know I'm eating kwachi and I'm reading, so truly today is very productive.
Who's on the ground floor? This is the ground floor. Mainly the boys are here, but we only have like 4 boys on this trip, so. That's all for our tour of this place and the vlog for today. Maybe later at night when there are more people in the HQ, we can show you how everyone works at night. They drink on the job, yeah, they do.
We left Rantapau after Friday Muslim prayers past noon. By the time we reached Makassar, it was nearly midnight. The next day after breakfast, we were busy preparing for the thank you dinner and cultural night, which was to start that evening. After many hours of rehearsal, the moment of truth had finally arrived. Arena called it the Night of Nights. Jasmine was the MC for the night.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to In Search of Makassar and Toraja's Cultural Night 2014. So, my name is Jasmine and I will be your MC of the night, and I will also be hopefully a translator for the night as well in Bahasa Malaysia. So we are students from School of Arts and Social Sciences from Monash University, Malaysia. We are in Makassar and Toraja to basically learn about traditions and cultural aspects of both districts. So that is why we're here.
We started off with announcing 3 of the Student Travelers Awards, pulled by the Student Travelers and the Student Guides. Sean was voted the person whom you would like to travel with again. The most hardworking was awarded to Suzanne.
Suzanne.
Thank you so much. I guess my hard work did not go unnoticed. Just thank you for everyone who has actually helped me, including especially the video team.
Deanne was the most culturally sensitive person. We surprised 3 student travelers born in December, Falak, Cheryl, and Arena, with vanilla chocolate cupcakes.
Can we all sing happy birthday?
And then it was performance time. The first set was a fusion cultural dance representing the 3 major ethnic communities in Malaysia.
Emily, and Helen impressed with the a cappella song combined with cup gymnastics. Ayman, Ichar, and Ihsan, assisted by their university mates, presented a song from Iman Falls.
Taman punya kita berdua, tak lebar luas, sama saja. Satu tak kehilangan indahnya bagi kau dan aku. Cukuplah. Taman kembangnya tak berwarna.
This was followed with a surprise Indonesian-Malaysian joint effort on a song every Indonesian and Malaysian should know. The open mic session saw Isabel, assisted by her father, Pak Jimpe, rise to the occasion. Five student travelers then gave their heartfelt appreciation speeches to each of the student guides.
Anytime you come to Singapore, my door is open for you.
Thank you so much for being there with us, even though you were really sick, like a puppy. And I know we've been, like so annoying to you and crazy. And thank you so much for putting up with us. And personally, I like your eyelashes.
Thank you so much for being so humble and kind and understanding. All of us, we found a special friend in you, and we're very grateful for that. And most of all, thank you for being there for me, especially when I was feeling very emotional during the funeral ceremony. I really appreciated that. And I hope that our friendship will be developed in the future. And I wish you all the very best in all your future endeavors.
I want to thank you on behalf of everyone for looking out for us all the time, even when we get lost and waiting for us. I want to especially thank you for teaching me Bahasa Makassar Toraja. Right now, I'm almost able to write everyone's student guides and students' name in Bahasa Makassar. I also want to thank Ilma for actually making the effort of getting her seniors to correct any mistakes that might be a mistake in the teaching me Bahasa Toraja. So,
Nurul, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us for this past 2 weeks. Thank you for being humble enough to maybe tolerate our cultural differences, and maybe some things that we've done are a little bit sensitive to you, but thank you for being graceful about it. And personally, thank you for showing me the kind of grace that I could possibly never have. And I will always remember your kindness and your gentleness.
All the individuals and NGOs who provided inputs during the study trip were also honored.
The Fort Rotterdam. Group picture. Kampung Buku.
Then it came for the second set of student travellers to be announced. Eileen was voted the most cheerful.
You guys are my energy lah, okay?
Lisa was the most giggly. Jasmine was the funniest person. A new category was created for this year, the all-rounder, to acknowledge the student traveller and student guide whose name appeared the most during the poll. That person was Arina. Pak Yo then showed a 3-minute summing up video before giving his thank you speech.
The idea for this study trip actually began 2 years ago.
Ide dari studi trip ini sebenarnya mulai 2 tahun yang lalu.
I was having lunch with Pak Dias in Kuala Lumpur.
Jasmine led us in the Sumazao, a community dance from Sabah that we had only started practicing in Toraja. Our Indonesian friends were invited to participate. The finale was a specially composed song describing our colourful experiences during ISO Makassar and Toraja. But the night was not over yet. After the guests left, we trotted off to a karaoke bar and sang like there was no tomorrow.
Who's gonna be the dancer?
indah kini hanya tinggal sejarah. Berhembus angin rindu, begitu nyamannya terhidu wangian kasihmu. Hujan lebat mencurah kini, bagaikan tiada henti. Kaulah laguku, kau irama terindah, tak lagi ku dengari. Kau pergi, sepi tanpa kata, terdiam dan kaku, tak daya kau ku lupa. Apapun kata mereka, biarkan kenangan berbunga di ranting usia. Hujan lebat mencurah kini, bagaikan tiada henti. Kaulah laguku, kau irama terindah, tak lagi ku dengari. Kau pergi, hujan lebat mencurah kini, bagaikan tiada henti. Kaulah laguku, kau irama terindah, tak lagi ku dengari. Kau pergi,
Shouldn't we have like the tune?
Oh yeah, we should have the
Sekejap. Start ready or not? Okay, another one.
Oh my god, I can hear myself.
Is it too loud? Is it loud? Cause we came here to explore Makassar. We came here to explore Toraja. We came here to explore eyes open. We came here to explore. Oh my god, it's recording. What's this?
Mark 1. You put a mark 2. You're putting a mark.
How do I unmark it?
Stop.
And the liberal hijabsters, they lost their slippers too.
That's wrong.
It's 11 and I'm not done yet with my article. Who's that breathing down our necks? They are the editors. There's the video team camping at 2:06 till 4. And the blog team wakes up at 5 when we're all asleep. 'Cause we came here to explore Makassar. We came here to explore Toraja. We came here to explore eyes open. We came here to explore Ah!
'Cause we came here to explore Makassar. We came here to explore Toraja. We came here to explore eyes open. We came here to explore Yeah, it's pretty clear, but the smile is dear. Go on the pete like we're supposed to do. Meet amazing people, learn from them too. Sitting at the coffee shop, drinking kopi susu. We drink Pocari Sweat and also teh botol. We know that stuff is good, come on, don't make it stop. If you got sarong, just spin around. 'Cause every inch of you is perfect from the bottom to the top. And the liberal hijabs, they lost his slippers too. Some of us went mountain trekking in our flippers, woo. W is patio and island is emo song. We live with or without you, says patio. Oh wow, that fresh Kool-Aid and all that greenery and paddy fields. Yeah, we enjoyed that, but then we got sick. And I'm here to tell you, when we got back, everybody just left. It's 11 and I'm not done yet with my article. Who's that breathing down our necks? They are the editors. There's the video team camping at 2:06 to 4. And the blog team wakes up at 5 when we're all asleep. 'Cause we came here to explore Makassar. We came here to explore Toraja. We came here to explore eyes open. We came here to explore
Half the world is sleeping, half the world's awake, half can hear their hearts beat, half just hear them break. I am but a traveler, been most everywhere. Ask me what you want to know. What a journey it has been, and the end is not in sight. But the stars are out tonight, and they're bound to